Patricia, have you inquired whether we have anyone who needs the interpreter this morning? We have several? Okay. Why don't we start with the people that need an interpreter first? Patricia, have you inquired whether... What's that? They can come up right here. We just call them one at a time. What's his last name? With a G? Okay. Come on up, Mr. Guerra. This is 20MM2076. And before we proceed, everyone, my name is Judge Nicola. I'll be handling your arraignments today. If you could tell them that in Spanish, please, Patricia. Today is an opportunity for you to enter a plea in your case. The possible pleas are guilty, not guilty, or no contest. In some cases where there is a victim, we may not be able to accept a plea today. And the reason is that a victim has a right in the state of Florida to participate in all stages of these proceedings. So in that event, we may need to give you a different hearing date. You also have the opportunity to apply for the services of the public defender if you would like a public defender. Or you may also represent yourself or hire an attorney to help you. Some of you may be offered a plea deal today. If you do want to accept that plea offer, you will have to wait until I get everyone out who is not accepting a plea. Which may take some time. If you do not want to wait, we can always give you another court date. Thank you. All right, Mr. Guerra, good morning. The court will make a finding that this gentleman requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. Sir, you do qualify for what is known as the diversion program. And everyone in the audience, please listen carefully, because if you qualify for the diversion, the same information would apply to you. The diversion program is offered through county probation. And it is an opportunity for you to perform some tasks. And once those tasks are completed, your charges will be dismissed. So, Mr. Guerra, I would ask you, sir, would you like to try the diversion program? Okay, so what the court will do at this time is enter, am I right? I see you standing, Mr. Rabb.
I am standing, Your Honor, and Mr. Rabb would state, just to clarify, Your Honor, that I think that's qualified for diversion.
Yes. That's what I'm seeing, the deferred prosecution routing agreement on my screen. That's why I figured.
Yes, Your Honor. And in addition to the general diversion.
Yes.
The state would be requesting as a condition of diversion that restitution be paid in the amount of $42.54.
Okay.
And that no trespass be issued at the Walmart where this occurred.
So, sir, you would also owe $42.51 to Walmart. And you also would not be able to go back there. Is that acceptable to you? Okay. So the court will enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf. We'll schedule you for a pretrial with Judge Crown. But if you are in diversion and you are completing diversion, you will not need to come back. So you'll need to go outside after this court hearing, go over to probation, and see what it takes to get signed up for that program, okay? What's that? I'm sorry? Yeah. You go out this door to the left and you'll see a sign that says probation. Okay, thank you, sir. February 18th, 9 a.m. Okay. Who do we have next? We're just gonna take these first, and I'm gonna take everybody else, and then we'll bring them in. Velasquez, okay, Mr. Fernandez, 20 CT 2350. Mr. Velasquez Fernandez, you also qualify for diversion. Would you like to take the diversion offer, sir? Okay, so what the court will do in your case as well, oh, is there restitution owed, Mr. Rad?
No, Your Honor, there is an offer involved as well.
Okay. Why don't we, since he's saying he wants to take diversion, let's just let him do it. What do you think? Yeah? Because, yeah, I think we should do that. All right. So, sir, we are going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. We'll schedule you for a pretrial. And if you're in diversion and successfully completing it, you will not have to come back. No, you need to go to probation. And probation will tell you what tasks you need to perform in order to have your charges dismissed. You are not here for a traffic ticket. This is a misdemeanor, which actually is a criminal charge. Okay, all right. What date would his court date be? February 22nd at 9. Thank you. How do you spell last name? Oh, with an M, I'm sorry. Maldonado. Ms. Maldonado, this is 20 CT 2551, and I got a note on here, defendant to state correct, but it falls off on the notes. Is it date of birth, address? Do you see it? Mrs. Maldonado, you also qualify for diversion. Would you like to accept that offer, ma'am? So what you'll need to do is the same as the two gentlemen before you. You'll need to go to probation after this court hearing and sign up for the diversion program. And with the gentleman before and with this lady before me, I do find that they both need the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter if I did not put that on the record. Entering a plea of not guilty on her behalf, setting her for a pretrial. March 1st, 9 a.m. And just like the gentleman before, ma'am, if you're doing well in diversion, we won't see you back in court again, okay? Thank you. Do you have anybody else? Thanks, Mary. Okay, thanks, Mary. Mr. Gomez? Okay, let's look at your case. This is 20 CT 2594. Court makes a finding that this gentleman requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. Mr. Gomez, you also qualify for diversion. Would you like to try that program, sir? You do not want to. Do you understand that if you successfully complete the program, your charges will be dismissed? If you complete the diversion program, you would need to go to probation, you would need to sign up for diversion, and you would need to complete the tasks assigned to you. You don't have to. He appears to me to be confused. Okay. Sir, would you like to have an attorney help you, sir? Does he need a lawyer? I think that what we should do with this gentleman is we should enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf. I will allow you the opportunity to make application for the services of the public defender who's just handed you her card. Okay. It might be helpful to you to have a lawyer explain the court proceedings to you. And your options. You'll need to file an application for the services of the public defender. If you are found to be unable to afford the attorney will be appointed to help you. That way, when you come back, you'll understand everything, okay? All right, and you can take that card that's in front of you, sir. Okay. What would his next court date be? February 8th will be your next court date, sir. All right. Sir, you will need to go to the clerk's office and fill out the application for the services of the public defender. Yes, Mr. Rabb. Sir.
It seems to require if the defendant is capable of getting a license, and so that may also be in this process.
Okay. Mr. Gomez, do you think that you can get a driver's license, sir? Okay. If you are able to get a driver's license, that may actually assist you with a better resolution of your case. So you can always try. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, next would be the gentleman in front. All right, come on up, sir. Come on up. What's your name, sir? Mr. Perez, all right. Mr. Perez is 20 CT 2620. All right, it does not appear that Mr. Perez qualifies for diversion. Is that right, Mr. Rabb?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Perez, do you think you will be able to get a driver's license, sir?
called me, I was using a way to do it because I had a company business that was running, getting the building to open it. And I got a driver, they drive my truck all the time, but I don't have the insurance, but I have an HVAC insurance that's part of my name.
Okay.
So I thought maybe I want to try to make it happen with my business and they can give me license to drive.
You have to get a driver's license through the Department of Motor Vehicles. You understand that?
I understand. I've been in the USA for like 14 years, 14 years already, and it's been hard for me to make it work. I didn't work all the time. I never had time to do stuff.
I understand, but you can't live and work in the United States without a valid driver's license. So what I will do for you at this time is I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Excuse me. We're going to set you on a pretrial. And at that pretrial, if you come into court with a driver's license, you might have a much better disposition. So it would be a good idea to get one. Okay? Yes, sir. Yes. So that would be the offer if you wanted to plead to the charge, sir, would be that you would pay the court costs. There would not be an adjudication of guilt, but you would also have to pay a $100 fine. You come back with a driver's license, as I said before, there's probably a better offer for you.
So, things take a long time to happen, so I don't really know how to get it right now. They use like my home right now, license letter, and they say maybe you can approve to have a license. But I don't know, I may try and.
Try it. We'll set you for a pretrial. We'll give you some time. If it looks like you're able to get it, we would like to see compliance. We'd love to see people who actually have a driver's license. This is the kind of charge where it can just snowball. What I mean by that is you get one charge, you get a break. The next time you get it, you don't get such a break. So you're going to live and work here. You really have to get one, especially if you think you can. So I'm going to set you on the next pretrial with Judge Provost. March 8th. So that gives you almost a couple of months to get your license, sir. Okay? All right. Thank you. Castañeda with a C? There he is. And this is 20 CT 2547. All right. Good morning, sir. It also appears, Mr. Rabb, that this gentleman does not qualify for diversion. Is that correct? His last name is Castañeda Diaz, 20 CT 2547. So that would be the offer to resolve your case today, sir, if you wanted to resolve it. And it would be an adjudication of guilt, which means it would not be a withheld adjudication of guilt. Indeed, okay. I was wondering why, because I didn't see anything on my dashboard. Okay. Sir, do you think you have the ability to get a driver's license? Not for what? Not for the time being. If I... Okay. All right. Would you like to accept the state's offer to enter a plea today to the charge? I can also give you some time if you would like to either make application for the services of the public defender or hire your own attorney. Or at least talk to an attorney to see what your options are. Okay. Sir, as I said at the beginning of this court proceeding, if you want to enter a plea today, I have to have you wait until everybody else is done, which means you'll have to step outside in the hall until I get everybody else that's out in the hall waiting for their case to be called and get through all of those people. And then we'll bring you back in at the end. It may be an hour. Thank you. Can you give him the waiver of counsel form? He's gonna have to sign that too. What's that? What's my next pretrial? February 15th at 10, and that will be before me. Yes. It'll be a much smaller docket than this one. So I should be able to take a plea then. Okay, February 15th at 10, entering a plea of not guilty on your behalf. No, sir, if we're not gonna do it today, I'll just have you leave it. Yes, oh, and I'm making a finding that this gentleman requires the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter. I'm not sure about the gentleman before, he seemed to speak English. Okay, he seemed to understand everything I was saying without you. Good morning, what's your name, sir? Hernandez? Oh, Mendez, I'm sorry. Got him. Mr. Mendez, you're 20 CT 2563. Oh, he's a minor. How old are you, Mr. Mendez? How old are you? You're 13? Oh, I was gonna be like, what? 17, thank you. All right. Mr. Mendez, because you are underage, your parents need to be with you at all stages of these proceedings. Where are your parents? So you came over here by yourself? You have who outside? I need the uncle in here. What's his name? What's his last name? Diego Lopez? We're going to recall you, sir. You cannot represent yourself. You need to have a parent or a guardian with you. So we're going to find your uncle and we're going to bring him back in here so we can address your case. We're going to recall it. I'm going to have you go outside and speak with your uncle, sir, and let him know he needs to be here. He has to come back in with you. Okay. Mary, you seem to know who came in here early. Who can we bring up next? Okay. Good morning. What's your name? Sally George. All right, Miss George, let me find you. Last name is George. 20 CT 2545. All right, Miss George, let's see what we've got. All right, Miss George, I see you've got 3 different pending charges. Would you like to hire an attorney or apply for the services of a public defender to help you? They're pretty serious charges. Okay, so why don't we do this? Let's enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. That'll give you the opportunity to talk with an attorney, either apply to have the services of the public defender or find an attorney on your own. And then you'll come back for a pretrial. Your judge is Judge Provost. If you are represented by an attorney, the pretrials are going by Zoom, but the attorney will tell you that. You won't have to appear. Okay? All right. What's her next date? February 4th at 9. Thank you. All right. Who's next? Good morning, sir. What's your name? St. Louis. St. Louis. And this is 20 CT 2544. All right, Mr. St. Louis, let's see what we got. All right, sir, you're charged with no valid driver's license. Do you have the ability to get one? How long do you think it'll take you? So when? This case is mine. I don't know if I'm going to give you till the summer. I will set you for a March pretrial. And then if you aren't able to get it, I'm going to need a pretty good reason. Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, just for the record, the defendant is interested, does qualify for diversion. And the state's alternative law offer to resolve this case today, so it will communication.
Okay, do you understand that, sir? You have some options. Come back with a license and probably we'll have a real good resolution for you. Unable to get a license, you do qualify for deferred prosecution, which means the diversion program, as I just explained to everybody earlier. Through probation, you always have the option to sign up for that, complete it, charges are dropped. Or you can enter a plea to the charges. The court would withhold adjudication of guilt. There'd be 100 or 150, Mr. Ebb. Was it 100? Oh, $150 fine plus the court costs, which, you know, is probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $450 to $500 total with everything. Okay, so, what's that? February 15th will be the date. Why don't we give him March? Yeah, I want him on the March. Is it? So I'm going to give you some extra time. This is my docket, which means I'm going to put you in my late March docket, which will give you some time, hopefully, to investigate what it'll take you to get a license. If you're having trouble, I'll always work with you. You just have to tell me you're working on it and this is what's going on. Okay? All right, we'll see you in March. March 24th? 22nd? 22nd. I do have the calendars right in front of me. Thank you, Mr. St. Louis. All right, who's next? Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Good morning. First name Dalton, last name Roselle.
Roselle with a B?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see you're on my docket, sir. Do you see a Mr. Brozell? It's is it B-R-O-Z-E-L-L, sir?
No, ma'am. It's
S-O Cell. I'm sorry. I thought you said Brozell.
Roselle, B-R-O-S-E-L-L.
Okay, I don't have you on my docket, so. What's the case number? Thank you. I don't see a case number. No, his last name is Brozell, Dalton. Can we look him up by name? He's got? L-L-E. He's not on my docket, but this clearly gives him a court date of today at 8:30 a.m. So we'll see if we can take care of it for you, sir. Find out what's going on at least. Okay? Here, you can have your paper back. Thank you. Anybody? That's weird, right? I mean, are you showing that there's? It was a Marco Island arrest.
This case was no cross years, 2 days ago.
Okay. So there's good news, bad news. The bad news is that you showed up in court this morning when you didn't have to. The good news is that your case has been dismissed, so you're good. You're done.
I got my license as well, so I want that.
Awesome. Thank you. You too. All right. Come on up, ma'am. Hi, good morning. What's your name?
Lisa Goodman.
All right, Miss Goodman. And this is 20MM2079. Okay. And Miss Goodman, in your case, because of the nature of the charge, there wouldn't be an offer this morning in order to resolve your case. Would there? There is? Usually there isn't. All right, never mind, ignore that. He does have an offer for you.
I'm not guilty.
Okay. So if she does want to contest the charges, we probably should set her for a pretrial. You can put the offer on the record if you'd like, Mr. Rabb. Okay. Okay. And I can tell just by looking at Ms. Goodman that she's not interested in accepting that offer today. Would that be a correct statement? Yes. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for a pretrial. That'll give you the opportunity to apply for the services of the public defender if you'd like, or you can hire your own attorney. And of course, you can always represent yourself. Okay? But you know what the offer is, so what's the date for her? February 25th at 9. If you hire an attorney, like I told the lady before you, you will not need to come to court. The lawyer will actually represent you over Zoom at the pretrial. Yes. And most of us judges, our pretrials are actually being streamed on YouTube. So if you wanted to know what was going on during your pretrial, you could always click onto your judge, who's Blake Adams, his schedule, and watch his hearing from the comfort of your own home. Okay? Of course. Yes, you may. Thank you, Ms. Goodman. Okay. All right, come on up, sir. And what is your name? Mr. Bain? Payne with a P? C. Well, I knew I'd get it. Like sometimes it takes 3 times with the masks. And me and you and everyone else masked sometimes makes it a little difficult, but we're getting there. All right, 20 CT 2591. All right, sir, failure to register motor vehicle. You get it registered?
Yes. It was actually a friend of mine.
Mr. Rad? So what I'm going to do for you, sir, enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You go provide that information on your friend's vehicle. It matches up and shows that it's registered. Your charges should be dismissed. We're going to give you a court date. It's just kind of a control date in case Mr. Rabb has further questions of you. But you can always view your case online at thecollierclerk.com to see what the disposition is. If you see something that says null pros or dismissed or something like that, then you won't need to come back. As soon as the case is dismissed, that's the end of it. Okay? What's his date? February 8th is your court date, sir. Okay, thank you. All right, come on up. Good morning. What's your name? It's Garcia. All right, let me find your case. Is it Liliana? Okay, thank you. 20 MM 2056. And Mr. Rabb, is this one of these cases where there's an offer to resolve it or no? Thank you. Okay. All right, so Ms. Garcia, in light of the charges, there is another person involved. So like I said at the beginning of these proceedings, I can't take a plea at arraignment due to the fact that we've got another person that would be involved in this case. So what I will do is I will set your case for a pretrial conference and a plea of not guilty on your behalf. That'll give you the opportunity, if you would like, to discuss this case with an attorney of your choice, or if you cannot afford an attorney, to make an application to have the services of the public defender, okay? All right, your case is with Judge Provost, and it will be set for a pretrial February 4th at 9 a.m. 4th. Thank you. Hi, good morning. And what's your name? Barrett? Oh, thank you. All right, and your case number 20 MM 2121. And Mr. Rabb, I don't see a diversion offer in this case.
There's not, Your Honor, the city does have an offer.
All right, what would be the offer for Ms. Beard to resolve it?
6 off, Your Honor, is $150 fine, 6 month probation with no relocation, stopover's alternative program, no trespass at the Walmart costs.
Okay. Ms. Beard, are you interested in accepting that offer, or would you like the court to enter a plea of not guilty and move it to a pretrial to give you the opportunity to speak with an attorney? Okay, so you have the option to, of course, apply for the services of the public defender. If you do not qualify, you will need to get an attorney of your own, or you can ask the court at your next hearing to review your application to see whether the judge would think that you did actually qualify. Of course, you always have the opportunity to represent yourself. We'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. You'll be set for a pretrial with Judge Provost, February 4th at 9. Again, if you have the public defender or you have a private attorney, you will not appear at that pretrial. Okay, thank you. Good morning, sir. What is your name? Mr. Stringfield, okay. There you are, 20 mm 2107. This is Mr. Stringfield. And Mr. Rabb, it also does not appear that this gentleman qualifies for diversion.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Do you have attorneys in those other cases, sir?
Yes.
Or do you have a private attorney?
No.
You have the public defender?
Yes.
Is it your intent to apply for the services of the public defender in this case?
Yes.
Okay, so what I will do with this case is I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, set you for a pretrial. You will not appear at that pretrial because I'm pretty sure that if you qualified in all the other cases that you'll qualify in this case. And the attorney will appear by Zoom at that pretrial for you and give you the information about where that case is going, okay? It's set with Judge Brown, and what's his next court date? March 4th at 9 a.m., sir. Thank you. All right. Come on up. Good morning, sir. What's your name? With a C. Oh, thank you. I almost looked at an S. There you are. 20 mm 2057.
Judge, I see that an application went through back in December of 2020. For some reason, it ends there, but I do see an application. I'm not sure if he.
I see it. Sir, I am going to have you raise your right hand and be sworn, please. Thank you, sir. Sir, you filed an application for criminal indigent status for the purpose of having a public defender appointed to you. Is that in December? And in that application, you indicated that you make $3,000 per month. Is that the amount that you take home, or is that the amount that you receive prior to taxes being taken out? And what do you do for work? And sir, do you have rent? How much is your rent? Does anyone else contribute to that rent? What are do you have any utilities associated with that rent too? Okay, first starting with the water, what's your average water bill? What's your electricity bill? And you said you have insurance. What's the insurance? Do you have a vehicle? Okay. Do you have a cell phone? And what is your payment for that a month? Do you provide support for a minor child or a wife or any family member? Okay. Do you provide a monetary contribution for the care of your younger brother? In other words, you have to pay for him for things. How much do you pay for him a month? And sir, how much a month do you spend on food? Okay. I need a kind of a ballpark idea. Okay. All right, thank you. Do you have any other expenses that you have that you regularly incur on a monthly basis? Do you pay health insurance? How much is your health insurance a month? Okay. What about clothes and things like that? How much do you pay a month on clothes? Okay.
In Judge, the copy of the application I have, there wasn't a determination of indigency made by anyone.
It says no on my dashboard.
It could just be the copy.
Sir, based on the evidence and testimony that's been presented today, I cannot find you indigent for the purpose of the appointment of the public defender. By my calculations, even if I add some additional money onto your testified to expenses, it appears that you have about $1,000 surplus a month, which is enough to hire a private attorney. So I can't find you indigent for the purpose of the public defender. Okay, Mr. Rabb?
Yes, Your Honor. There are three charges. This part that the state is going to file on possession charge. However, as it relates to Mr. George, the judge know that there wasn't information filed that may not have been uploaded yet.
Okay.
The clerk's office filed yesterday. The victim has not been contacted.
Okay, so sir, what's going on with your case is that the second and the third count related to the marijuana and the drug paraphernalia is not being filed on. So they're only going to go forward on the criminal mischief. And because it's an offense that involves a victim, we don't have information to convey an offer to you to resolve it today. So what the court will do is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. That'll give you the opportunity, if you would like, to speak with a private attorney about this charge. If you decide you don't want an attorney, of course, you can come in on your own. I would expect that by the pretrial with Judge Provost, that the state would probably have an offer for you to resolve it. So let's get that date. February 4th at 9 a.m. Okay? All right, thank you. All right, come on up, sir. What's going on here? Good morning, what's your name? What's your last name? Thank you, sir. And you're 20 CT 2532. All right, Mr. Albert. And I see here you're charged with driving while license suspended, canceled, or revoked. Do you have an opportunity, or do you think you can get your driver's license reinstated?
I know the revocation period is up, but it was revoked in Illinois. So I don't know if I can get reinstated in Illinois before I get it.
Yes, you will need to get it reinstated in Illinois. I'll give you an opportunity if you'd like to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and set you for a pretrial on my docket. Like the gentleman before you that didn't have a driver's license, I'll set you on my March docket. I realize that settling stuff in Illinois is difficult. I have relatives up there who I understand the court system is a little bit different than it is in Florida as far as getting stuff resolved. But maybe if I give you till March, you can get that all fixed. Do you think so?
Yeah, I just don't know, since it was a pending charge, I don't know if the pending charge will affect the reinstatement.
This charge here?
Yeah.
No idea. But I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask and see if you can get it fixed. Mr. Reb?
Yes,
Hold on a
sir.
second.
Just for the record, city criminal enforcement did withdraw his finding clause, as the defendant did say, the purpose of the suspension is related to the DUI years back, which is the revocation period has expired at this point, so it does appear that reinstatement is possible.
Okay.
That's an option that the defendant says.
Okay. So you have an option to plead to the charge. That charge, however, would result in an adjudication of guilt. So it may not be a bad idea if, in fact, you can't get your license reinstated, for you to either apply for the services of the public defender to guide you through this, or to seek out the advice and counsel of a private attorney. So you understand the consequences of entering into a plea. The court can't tell you that. Okay? Yes.
Sorry, I just saw that you were doing that. Since this is our case, Your Honor, and based on the defendant's comments, the state of the request just push this maybe for more.
Yes, I'm going to put it on March. Yep.
Perfect.
March 22nd, sir.
Sounds good. So
See-
I already have the papers and whatnot ready to go with like the treatment and whatnot, ready to mail out. I just haven't mailed it out yet because I didn't want to waste them, because I didn't know if the pending charge would have affected that. So
I don't-
try to get it reinstated in the meantime.
I don't know. I would suggest calling somebody up in Illinois and saying, will this work? I mean, I can't tell you, how to do it, but I bet you there's somebody who can.
Right.
All right? Yes, sir. What's that?
It shouldn't affect the Illinois.
I wouldn't think so, but, I understand being concerned about this. This is just a pending charge. You haven't been adjudicated of anything. So I would hope not, but as I said, every state has different laws. So I don't know what the state of Illinois laws are, so. Okay, so we'll see you in March. Thank you, sir. This is Mr. Mendez. All right, Mr. Mendez. Did I cross him off, or did I put him second call? There he is. Hi, good morning, Mr. Mendez again. This is 20 CT 2563. And sir, you're Mr. Mendez's uncle? And what is your name, sir? And did his parents ask you to come with him to court today? Where's his father? Where's his mom? Okay, so I just need to understand why you're here with your nephew instead of his mom being here. And you're here, sir, is that right? Okay, and does he live in Miami, Mr. Mendez, with his mom? And he's staying with you right now, is that right? Okay. So because Mr. Mendez is a juvenile, he either needs to be with a parent or with a guardian. Mr. Rad?
My concern, Your Honor, would be whether or not it qualifies as a proper guardian for this hearing. Right?
I don't think that he does.
Let's say if I agree with the court, our recommendation would be to push this to another arraignment date.
I think based on the charges, what I'm going to do is enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf.
The state's only concern, Your Honor, would be that without the guardian or parent hearing, that proper arraignment hasn't taken place for the defendant. The opportunity for an arraignment hasn't taken place, and we need appropriate arraignment document.
I'm just concerned that we're kind of kicking the can. If he was charged with a no valid driver's license, only one count and not the second count that I'm looking at, I might agree with that. I'm just trying to figure out a way to not make him have to come back in a week for an arraignment.
The state's only position is to ensure that proper arraignment has taken place. Which, since the juvenile does not appear to be accompanied by the guardian.
All right, well, I think you're probably right, despite my feeling that we should set him on a pretrial conference. I'm going to set him for another arraignment. That arraignment will be set in a month. Yeah, a month from today. February 11th and the 18th. The 18th. Mm-hmm. All right, so that you both understand, this is a criminal proceeding. Mr. Mendez is charged with one very serious charge. One that is not as serious, but is still serious for somebody who is under the age of 18. There are lots of consequences to a juvenile for these two crimes. It is extremely important that his mom be with him at the next court hearing. If she is not going to be with him, then she needs to provide to you, sir, legal authorization for you to be here with your nephew. I'll need some type of written authorization from his mother that says, I hereby authorize you, sir, as my legal representative for my son. However, as his mother, I think she should be here. This child is charged with a DUI and he's not even old enough to drink. And as a mom, she should be concerned about that and should be here despite whatever personal sacrifices it costs her to drive to Naples, Florida. Okay? All right. So we're setting you for February the 18th at 8:30. And this is being continued until then. All right? Thank you. And actually, you know what, Patricia? I just want to make one more comment on the Mendez case. Mr. Mendez, I don't want you to answer this question. It's not really a question, it's a statement. Your uncle lives here and you live in Miami with your mom. You're driving yourself back to Miami and you get pulled over, you are going to be in big, big trouble. You will probably end up spending some time in either detention, probably detention because he's 17. And it's just like jail. And you don't want to be in jail, trust me. Okay, thank you. Hi, good morning. What's your name, sir? Mr. Bartholomew, let me find you real quick. Okay. Okay. This is 20 2082. I don't see a public defender on here, but that may not have made my dashboard.
Yes, Your Honor, we know Mr. Bartholomew has two cases. It appears that he's unrepresented. CO 753.
Okay.
That he is represented by the Public Defender's Office as the son of Mr. Stephen at 20
Okay, and this is 20 2082.
That's Mark Bartholomew.
This is Mike. I thought your name was Michael.
My name is Michael. I don't know
Who's Robin Lynn Bartholomew?
Okay, we have a lot of Bartholomews. This is Michael.
Bartholomew, I'm Bartholomew, and we like.
Oh, that's right. You are Bartholomew.
My apologies.
So this is not the same individual. Sorry, sir.
That's okay.
Sometimes it takes all of us to figure it out.
Well, you know, I hated this name as a kid growing up, but it's like, I don't realize how much it is, you know, there's only several of us in the United States.
That's right. It's not to be confused with the Bartholomews, right? All right. Well, now that we've got that figured out, your charge is false ID to law enforcement. I don't see that he qualifies for diversion. Is there an offer for him to resolve his case?
Yeah, based on our state offer is an education, 15 days jail, credit transfer, or false prosecution.
I'm guessing, Mr. Bartholomew, that you would like to probably speak to an attorney before you accepted that offer. Would that be a correct statement?
I want to get an attorney. I don't want to get involved with that. I don't want to be a part of the state. I'm trying to put myself in this mess, and I am handling that business. Luckily, I believe that I need an attorney.
Okay.
For multitude of reasons.
Of course. So what I'm going to do is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. It's going to be with Judge Provost. If you do retain the services of a private attorney, the pretrial date that we're giving you is going to be by Zoom. You will not appear at that pretrial. The attorney will appear on your behalf, and then the attorney can tell you when your case is being set. Presently, we are not having jury trials. I hope to open those up at some point, but because of the COVID and everything, we're not having them. That's why we're doing everything by Zoom right now, is so that we don't bring tons of people in the courtroom. So, okay. So we'll see you, what's the next date? February 4th. If your attorney, as I said, if your attorney's gonna appear, then you won't have to be here. All right. Thank you, sir. You too. All right. Now we have Mrs. Bartholomew. And she's got two cases. You're right. One that has Ms. Woodley, which is 20 2059, and then one where it appears you're not represented, which is 20 CO 753. And okay, and that's what I'll do. If you have not made application in 20 CO 753, you'll need to make application in that case. Even though you have her on one, you still have to make an application in the other. Likely that if you qualified in one, you would qualify probably for the other. Okay. You are absolutely. Yep. All right. Thank you, Ms. Bartholomew. We'll see you again. What's her next court date? March 4th with Judge Brown. Yes. Thank you. Hi, good morning. What's your name? All right. right. And your case is 20 CT 2568. Ms. Rojo, let's see what we've got. It says driving while license suspended, canceled, or revoked. Are you able to get a driver's license? How long do you think that'll take you? Can you update the court, Mr. Rabb?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant does appear to have any LSR charges both in Andrew County and handle the state's current offer in this case, is an adjudication of guilt, 6-month probation, and termination upon completion, 30 days community service and costs. Based on the pending charge in Henry County, the state will also be working with Henry County since the state attorney is in our circuit. So all cases.
Okay.
We cannot work with the Leon County since the state attorney's office in that circuit, our circuit.
I'm gonna take a look. Okay.
We're checking right now, possibly at the time for her arrest.
Okay. We'll find out. If you missed court in Henry, the judge may have issued a bench warrant, which means okay. Right. Yeah, you've definitely got to keep track of what's going on in your cases, because I'm looking at your driving record right now, and it says in Henry County on May the 9th of 2019, your driver's license was suspended for failing to pay a traffic fine. That's easy to clear up. You got to pay the traffic fine. Yeah, that appears to be what is actually, you've got a failure to pay traffic ticket in Henry. You may have a second one in Henry, if I'm looking at your record correctly, and there's one in Leon County. So actually, there's 2 outstanding traffic citations in Henry. Okay. All right, well, I need to have you take a seat, and we're going to see what's going on with you in Henry County. But it looks, from my review of your driving record, 3 traffic citations are what's preventing you from getting your driver's license. The failure to pay, and it's causing you a world of hurt right now. Well, I can tell you right now, the clerk's office will accept payment if you want to pay your traffic ticket. I think that the clerk's office in Henry and in Leon will too. All right. You cannot drive. Yes.
Just for the record, it does appear that the traffic citation in Leon, that matter is closed from August.
Right.
There's a criminal matter, however, September, still is appearing as open.
Yep.
Henry County case, there has to be 2 Henry County cases.
2 citations, right?
1 traffic, 1 criminal, case is still open, case is still open. And there is what was filed as a pending felony traffic charge, ECT 2568 originally, which is this case that was dropped out to your court.
Okay. So
That is
from what I'm understanding from Mr. Rabb, it appears that the remaining Henry County traffic ticket is what's causing you all this difficulty with your driver's license. Paying that ticket and going to the DMV and reinstating your license could make things better for you. Right now, you're in a lot of trouble. And if you keep driving, you just heard Mr. Rabb say that this started out as a felony because they thought this was a felony. You're just at that point right now, where the next time you get caught driving, it's a felony, and you could go to prison. You don't want that, so don't drive. I am going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I would suggest to you that it might be a good idea for you to talk to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney will be appointed to represent you. You could make application for the services of the public defender's office. You've got a lot of different things going on and a jail offer. No, it wasn't a jail offer. It was a probation officer, right? Offer, right? But my guess is that you've got 3 cases pending right now, and ultimately one of those may result in jail. So it's a good idea for you, number one, to do everything in your power to get that traffic ticket paid and to get your driver's license reinstated. Okay. Yes, I don't know about that. What I'm going to do is have a seat and we'll find out what's going on with that. But again, I think it would be beneficial to you to talk to an attorney. All right, setting her for a pretrial not guilty plea on her behalf. Entering a plea of not guilty. Yes. I want her on the March. Yeah. Okay, March 22nd. Yep. All right, who's next? Ma'am in the front, you want to come up? Or sir, bring him up? Yes. Oh, I just had her. She went and sat in a different spot. Sorry about that, ma'am. What's his name? Mr. Saldana. Okay. Let's see what we have for you, sir. Eduardo?
Yes, I am.
Hi there. Do you need the help of a Spanish interpreter? Do you understand English, sir? A little bit or a lot? You know what I'm saying right now? Do you understand me? Yes? 20 MM 2103. Your charge is for a breach of the peace and a disorderly conduct. There was a finding that you require the services of the Spanish-speaking interpreter previously. So the court is not going to disturb that finding because you may need help at times. If you do, we've got our interpreter, Patricia, next to you. Okay? Mr. Rab. Okay. Okay, what is it, please?
Trespass at the Walmart located at 5425 LIABLE, Florida. And all costs.
Okay.
2, resisting arrest without violence. Adjudication of guilt. $200 fine. 6-month probation terminated upon completion of all conditions. That special condition is a mental health evaluation by law recommendations. And all costs associated with that.
Okay. Sir, is that something you're interested in accepting, or would you like some time? Okay. I'll start. Sir, you are being offered an opportunity, if you are interested, to resolve your case today. You do not have to accept it, but it's being put out there so that you understand what the proposed resolution would be. All right, so I'm going to have Mr. Rab put it back on the record for you again so that you can understand it. Mr. Rab. Thank you.
Trespass at the Walmart located at 5425 Juliet Boulevard. Court costs. Also prosecution. Passing count 2. Resisting arrest without violence. Adjudication of guilt. $200 fine. 6-month probation, which may relieve from the completion of a mental health evaluation. Following all recommendations from that mental health evaluation. Court costs and the cost prosecution.
Okay, I have a question because I was like another different, I don't have another different programs, and this is very good, well, and not always I put wrong was sometimes with this. But my programs, I want to go to Mexico, no come back to US. So what is my advice? What is my consejo para mí? Because I wanna go with my father and my mom.
Okay, so understand that my role as a judge is much different than that of an attorney, which means I can only convey to you what the offer is to settle your case, but I cannot guide you as to whether it's a good idea to accept it or not. If you want somebody who can do that, okay, let me just finish for a minute and then I can answer that question. If you want somebody who can explain things to you and assist you with understanding whether this is a good deal for you or not, then you'll need to talk with an attorney. You could make application for the services of the public defender if you would like. And that way, if you can't afford an attorney, you'll have somebody help you. If you don't qualify for the public defender, you might hire your own attorney, or at least talk to somebody. If you don't have money for a lawyer, you can ask to have the public defender help you. All right, so what the court will do is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Schedule you for... If you plead guilty, you would have to accept everything that the state attorney just told you that you would need to accept. That's why I'm saying to you, sir, that maybe it might be a good idea for you to talk with an attorney. Okay, because I can't tell you whether it's a good option for you. Okay? So you'll need to make an application in the clerk's office to see whether you qualify to have an attorney appointed for you, okay? Okay. So you're gonna get a pretrial date, which will be February 18th, sir, with Judge Crown. February the 8th. Oh, you said 18? I thought you said 8. February 18th. You were right. Thank you. Okay. All right. Sir in the back, you want to come on up? Do we have more people outside, Joe?
I'm not sure, Judge. We checked earlier.
Really? Okay. I see a lot of people still left on my docket. Hi, what's your name? Mr. Alvarez, 20MM 2064. And you are represented by the services of the public defender, Ms. Armpriester. This is Mr. Javier Alvarez, 20MM 2004.
Your Honor, I don't see where I'm appointed. I wonder if the application is very fresh. In that case, regardless, I request to enter a plea not guilty on behalf of the next appropriate.
Yeah, it looks like he was declared indigent just today. So.
In that case, then I would request to enter a plea not guilty. He is assigned to you, Your Honor.
Yes, he's assigned to me.
I would ask him to enter a plea not.
All right, sir, we're going to set you for a pretrial.
Here's the thing, when you applied for a lawyer this morning, I now have a duties on that, and if you want to resolve, you can file a waiver of counsel, and you just waste $50. So if you want to wait for resolving it, seeing if it's dropped are two different things. So my best guess would be left with the clerk that is using the state my charge or not.
And Your Honor, for the record, the state's having to confirm that.
Sure.
It's an anticipation until 6-month probation with early completion at 3 months, 30 hours of community service, an anger management class, no trespass at the monopoly, and calls.
Okay.
And also prosecution and public services.
All right. And so, sir, It might be beneficial for you to just enter the plea of not guilty, and then we'll set it for our next pretrial. And then by then, if you're correct and the casino doesn't intend to prosecute it, they'll pass that information on to Mr. Rabb, and you'll be done. So, okay. And that might be, and setting you for a pretrial gives us time to figure out if that's a true statement, and then there's a resolution there for you, okay? All right, thank you. All right. February the 11th. All right. Do we want to go? It looks like I have a bunch of them on my docket where there's represented people. Let's start with Mr. Rabb. Let's start with Donald Day's case. Caitlin Daniel, 20mm 2133. Is that one that we need to file on, or what's the status of that? There's an information filed, so that we need to set that for a pretrial. There's no information filed. Oh, I thought you said there was an information. Okay, yeah, and I don't see it.
Your Honor, I believe we are waiting on additional information for this case, but since Mr. Day has filed on this, well, it's a misdemeanor case, so I guess this needs to be pulled.
Okay, we'll move it 2 weeks. January 28th at 8:30. And then it looks like we have two cases that Mr. Caro has, Marcos Gaspar Gonzalez, 20 CT 2526 and 20mm 2055.
Yes, Your Honor. The CT case has been filed on.
Okay,
Because Mr. Caro has submitted for notice of appearance, that will be rolled to the next trial.
okay,
I happen, it is what it is, I haven't contacted Mr. Caro. It is possible that as part of that resolution, there will be a information filed on the event case.
okay,
Because of that, I'm asking for a roll, however, to allow appropriate time, we could have that roll for a month,
both of them or just the one?
just the event case. The
Okay.
CT case should already be pushed to the trial.
Okay, so we'll set the 20 CT 2526 for pretrial, and we'll set 20mm 2055. We'll move that 2 weeks for another arraignment. Yes, 2 weeks, right, Mr. Rabb?
If we go further than 2 weeks for the arraignment, that would be,
I'm fine with whenever you want to set it.
if it's a month, so I'm hoping to resolve it in notification on the event case, so we can roll it for a month, it would be preferable. That works for me.
Works. Okay, thank you. All right. The next one I see that has private counsel is Jose Lacoste, 20mm 2063. Miss Orange is representing him. Joe, did you break the phone? It's one of those that you have to put a quarter in, right? Payphone. You just broke the payphone off the wall. Does that phone even work? It does? Why do we actually have a phone there? Who are you calling? Oh, they are? I actually don't understand why I have 3 phones on the bench. There's 3 of them. I don't actually ever know which one works. If you ever become a judge, you'll see how many archaic devices there are in the back. It's amazing. I mean, there's actually a fax machine in my office. It does not work, but it looks like it's from about 1972.
You know, the sad thing is more people are using fax machines. Actually, like records now more than ever because of technology problems.
I don't know. I think we actually are still on the record. Sorry up there, folks.
Your Honor, 20mm 2063, Jose Lacoste.
Yes,
It does appear that there was an information filed yesterday.
okay.
I don't know if the defendant is not present. Okay.
It's Miss Orange. She's filed a notice of appearance for him, so he doesn't need to be present.
I am not sure that if this Orange has in fact filed on behalf of Your Honor.
see. Why does it have her name on there? It has her name on there. Yeah, there she is. She filed yesterday, 113.
That, but I believe that is.
He has another case.
That is correct. He is being assigned to Judge Provost. He does have a pending lower case number 20-19.
Okay, works for me. And then it looks like Attorney Verderamo has a case, Manuel Ramos, 20 CT 2524.
Judge, Mr. Verderamo filed a notice of appearance. We will run it.
Okay, so that one, let me see what that one is. It looks like an information was filed, so let's set that one for a pretrial. February 24th. Okay, and then it looks like there are 3 cases left, Ms. Armpriester, that are assigned to your office. The first one is Amber Listenberger, 20 MM 2119. Okay, next pretrial? Sure.
And we are on
Listenberger, Amber, 20 MM 2119.
the next February 11th at 9 a.m.
February 11th at 9. Then Scott O'Donnell, 20 MM 2069.
We could entertain that guilty and set for the next appropriate court date. I'm not sure if it's for pretrial or not.
I'm not sure. Be with Judge Provost, though.
Pretrial.
Yeah, resisting would go to a pretrial, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's with Judge Provost, and the last name is O'Donnell, first name Scott.
Okay, the next court date will be February 4th at 9 a.m.
Okay. The next one is Brian Soloff, 20 CT 2527.
Judge, Mr. Solak was present early this morning. I sat him home just to accommodate guidelines. Please not guilty, set for next court date. He does have his false contact information. I believe photos of that case.
He is Judge Crown's case.
Anyway, he has the contact information. He goes to call his attorney and get his next court date. He also has, I told him he could check with the clerk's website as well.
You do have a 1 in 5 chance of getting it right if you guess. There used to be 6, so when Judge Martin was handling part of the criminal. And this one, like I'm looking at this one, I'm going, this is pretty easy to resolve. Tag not assigned and failure to register. I would hope that he could.
I think he's working, he told me he was working on getting everything taken care of, so I hopefully by the next court date
Should be fixed, hopefully. All right, good. So that's everybody I'm showing that's private. Now we just have to address about a dozen or so people that we didn't have this morning. The first person that I see is Anae Baez, 20 MM 2120. Looks like this is the first time up. Do we want to continue this?
No, Your Honor, I believe that this case has been.
No info? In other words, you're dropping it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is an I bias.
Yes.
Are you showing it?
20 mm
Yeah.
2120.
Oh, okay. So on this bias, Your Honor, I'm showing a pending charge
Yeah, a petty theft.
to roll this 2 weeks,
Okay.
which I believe clerk said, sorry, did that, or not me?
No, 2 weeks will be February 28th.
All right, sounds good.
I mean, January 28th.
January 28th. Yeah, that February would be, give them a lot of time. Oh, I know it. Well, and then I have all my calendars spread out in front of me, and I've got to make sure I look at the right month. So, all right, the next one we have is Chad Barancic, 20 CT 2537. DUI first and with damage. So count 2 is null process, so he's only going forward on count 1. And there was an information filed, and he's not here. I would like to give him an opportunity to be here. So what I would like to do with this one is continue this for 3 weeks to renotice him. And I'm going to put a note in Smart Bench. Yes. All right, so I just put a note in Smart Bench, move 3 weeks to allow, I spelled allow wrong, whoops. Defendant to appear, 2-4, if not present, then the court can address it. That way, whoever's handling arraignments that morning will see that he in fact did not appear today and that I left a note explaining why I continued it. All right, so next we have a Terray, Bugs, 20 CT 400. Let's see what's going on with this. It says it's 325 days old. Is that true?
I believe he was, this looks like a prior bench warrant issued in December in front of Judge Brown. That bench warrant was for $5,000. I imagine that he was picked up and then posted bond and did not show for this appearance. As a result of that, Your Honor, the state would be requesting another bench warrant be issued.
Warrant served. God, he was just served the warrant in December. Why are we arraigning him for a year?
He's failed to appear, Your Honor, for each of his
Oh. No, he doesn't. Wow. Let's look at the booking information. God, you would think that going to jail and being whammed with a $5,000 bond would get someone's attention. Warrant served. Type, what does that say? What do you see? That is on the record. They may not have heard you though. I heard you, but I've got these, like I hear everything. It's getting a little hot in here today. Oh, goodness.
Judge, there does appear to be a very active warrant for that individual. I'm not sure why this arraignment has been continued for a year. On the warrant that Deputy Jacoby does have to keep. Oh, sorry, I thought we were on.
It's just, this is just so strange to me because, all right, where is the notice that was provided? When I look at the warrant and all the information relating to him being booked in the jail, I'm just not seeing anything there showing that he got notice for today. That worries me a little bit. Even though I think he's kind of thumbed his nose at the court a few times or maybe a bunch of times before, I would think that once he got picked up on a $5,000 warrant and bonded out, that would get his attention. Are you seeing? Question is, I don't either. So I am going to continue the arraignment for 3 weeks, and I'm going to put a note in Smart Bench. Although recent warrant for FTA in December, not convinced he received notice for today. Continued 3 weeks. I don't know, I'm going to continue it for 3 weeks. I put a note in Smart Bench so that the next judge will see it. And we'll also be able to look at the previous warrant. We get notice to him at his last known address. And if he's not here, I'm sure he's going to have another warrant out for his arrest. 3 weeks, February 4th. All right, next we have Jamila Carrasco, 20 CT 2486. Let's see what's going on with Ms. Carrasco. Warrant released to parents, and it looks like no valid driver's license released to parent. Pickup order was served and received. Released to parent. This is another one where I'm not seeing that notice for this hearing was provided. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one. We'll notice the parents, continue it for 3 weeks, and I'm putting a note in Smart Bench. It does?
When they are arrested, if you look on the bottom first page, he keeps the next, and they keep a copy of the movie. So they know they next.
Here's the problem with that. I'm just not convinced that that a booking sheet in the little teletype at the bottom, that they would even understand that. So I'm going to still stick with my ruling, which is that we're going to continue 3 weeks. That way they'll get an actual notice in the mail. And if they don't show up, it'll be the same thing. All right, so the next one I see is Matthew Elsner, 20 CT 2535. See what's happening with Mr. Elsner. Failure to register. This is the first time up. We'll continue this a couple of weeks to let him get here. This is such a minor charge. You'd think he would have taken care of it. So let's just continue this one time to allow him to appear. All right. We're just gonna put that 2 weeks out. Yes. 128. All right, and then we have Victor Figueroa. Did we call him? I don't think so, right? Okay, 20 2122. This is also the first time up, so I'll do the same for this gentleman as I did for the last one. I'll give him one more opportunity to appear. And that we need the state to file an information anyway, so let's move this 2 weeks. What's that? Okay, perfect. And then Nady Joseph, 20 CT 2624. This is another one, first time up, failure to register a motor vehicle. God, some of these just seem like they'd be so easy to address, like right now if they were here. We'll move him 2 weeks too. And then Desi Lopez, 20 CT 2533. Again, first time up, there's a deferred prosecution offer. Pretty easy to resolve. We'll give him 2 weeks to appear. Move him 2 weeks. Mr. Lopez, Desi, 20 CT 2533. And then we have Luis Arias, 20 CT 2385. And let's see what's going on with this one. Motion for continuance. Hmm. Mr. Arias' citation says that he lives at 6374 Grand Cypress Circle, Naples, Florida 34108. He filed a request for continuance, which was granted, and then a notice to appear was issued, and the notice to appear went to him at 5327 Jennings Street. I'm a little worried that maybe he didn't get notice of today, so what I'd like to do is continue this one for another 2 weeks, and we can send him notice on what's on the citation, which is, it looks like it's 6374 Grand Cypress. It's so small. 5374 Grand Cypress Circle, Naples, Florida 34109. I don't know where this other address that's on the notice to appear came from. Maybe we could just send it to both addresses, just to see if we can get him here. Because it looks like he, cared enough to send a letter to ask for a continuance. He has a brand new baby. Let's move it 3 weeks. 2 weeks? Okay, 2 weeks is fine. 128. And then Brett Michael Sauce, 20 CT 2528.
Yes, Your Honor, that case, the state is still waiting on some statement from the arresting officer. The state's requesting a new parole.
Okay, we'll continue it 2 weeks. That'll also allow him to appear. Georgetta Sumner, 20 CT 2050. Let's see here. So it appears, yeah. This was a 10/29/20 arrest scheduled for 11/19, defendant not present. Continued again to December 10th, defendant not present. 3 strikes, you're out, she's not here. Bench warrant, $1,000 bond. 20 CT 2050, Georgetta Sumner. Yes, ma'am. I would also note for the record that none of the mail has been returned, not that I can see in the docket. So, all right. Merkinson to Loosenord. Thank you. 20 mm 2071. Are you sure? Oh, okay.
Well, I represented him in June, I'm not sure.
I'm going to say so because it looks like there's a correspondence to judge 111. I'm intrigued. Oh, this is from the express bail bonds. All right.
Your Honor, I know that.
He's in jail in Lee County.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that battery on a few months ago.
Yeah, he's in jail in Lee County, and the state actually has filed a motion to revoke his bond, which hasn't been set yet, it looks like. So, with.
I'm gonna try and get him an attorney on this case. I'll do that.
Okay, the court will continue this to allow us to figure it out. I think we should continue this one a month. If he's in jail in Lee County, it's likely he's not going to be here within the next 2 weeks.
Your Honor, you don't have any information that has what Lee County calls an A number or their.
I don't see anything other than the correspondence from the bail bondsman.
I'm just trying to find his housing location, is that 1217?
I don't know.
Can you get me a case number of what he arrested for?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you guys can work that out, but we'll move this a month. Yes. February 11th. All right, and then Victor Vasquez Perez, 20 CT 1934. Let's look at this one. Vasquez Perez. Correspondence from Sheriff's Office regarding alias number. There's all kinds of interesting stuff being filed today.
There's also, yes, here, the state request to have the defendant state that name.
Okay. Booking sheet.
The defendant's actual name is Lester Sanchez Ortiz.
Okay.
Date of birth, November 3rd, 2004.
November 3rd, 2004? Okay. Oh, that's what it says on this. Okay. So, bench warrant pickup order. Looks like he was served with a warrant in December. Released to parent. Is he a juvenile? I'm looking on the smart bench and it says 11/24/20, bond set it, released to parent.
That would have been,
He will be.
He was born in 2001, so that doesn't mention it.
I think his alias was 2000.
2000. Oh, and he's really born 2004, which makes him 16. All right, and it looks like we're really having a hard time getting him here. Let me just take a look at this and see if it's the same as everything else. If it's the same as everything else, I'm going to give him an opportunity to appear. I think I'm going to do that anyway because he's a juvenile. Let's just let's move this 3 weeks with a notice to the parents. Try and get him here. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's just let's continue it. We'll send a mailed notice to the parents. Hopefully that'll get him here. 3 weeks. Yes, ma'am. February 4th. And then last but not least, I think, Teodoro Ventura. Oh, we did? Okay. All right, and that's everything. Everything until 11. Well, I've got you guys here. I know we've got a bunch of motions. It looks like there's only 2 now, it looks like, left on the 130. They both look like they're going?
I believe, Mr. Producer, I said you submitted a motion on the motion to suppress for this afternoon.
Okay.
And I believe the motion for DB, the driver's license, and I already looked at one for today. I have to confirm that I will submit a written request for that case.
Is that the James Smith?
Yes, it is.
20 CT 2122? Let me take a look at that real quick.
And if you recall, this is the individual in Miami who had the same arrest as, I think, previously living in Miami. He was able to get his license.
Okay, great, wonderful. All right, so that takes care of the 130.
yes.
Yes, Ron.
All right, and
Your
then,
reminder, please, I believe, without your honor started, then you're starting Ryan counsel at 2 and Ryan at 3. Would you like me here at 2:30? Would you like me to still come at 2:30? You want me to come at 3?
well, what I did was, because I had so many pleas, I mean, it looks like I have 13 of them, is that when I started getting a whole bunch, then I said, let's start setting them at 3. Because I was worried I'd have too many people coming into the courtroom doing private pleas. I know there might be some that are pleas in absentia, but I just don't remember which ones they were.
I'll come at 2:30.
Okay, I wonder if I shouldn't get in touch with Mr. Day. Who else do we have that's private that's on this docket? Corantes, is that a private attorney? Castillo Urias, it says attorney.
That one, Your Honor, I believe we set on the day that they reported.
Okay, the attorney is Alberto I know I'm not gonna say this right. Quirantes?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe what I'll do, if this works for everybody, is have Attorney Quirantes and Attorney Day, ask them if we could do their pleas at 2, because now that the 130 is canceled, the reason why I didn't say anything is because I thought that motion to suppress might take an hour. And we could set them at 2, and then we would have taken care of 1, 2, 3, 4.
I had one of them on there for me, Mr. Blaine Perkins.
Okay.
He's gonna be continued to another plea because he is in truck driver certification school in Tampa and he couldn't get out of it because he wanted to deal.
Okay.
So that even left the document.
Is Mr. Orkins already set for pretrial? Probably.
He is set for pretrial, but we also had set him for today's plea date.
Okay.
So they'll just go to that. And obviously we'll get one on the record, then I just for purposes of their scheduling.
Okay.
That's one less.
Well, I don't mind handling it right now and saying that we're going to continue the plea and we'll just leave it set for pretrial.
Yes.
That way we'll take it off.
I think 2-9 pretrial for Blaine Perkins.
Not sure. Okay, so we'll remove 20 MM 1189 from the plea docket today. And then Ms. Armpriester, if you find out there's going to be a plea in advance of his scheduled pretrial, we can find something for you. And, we'll accommodate his schedule. If he's a truck driver and he says, these are my 3 days or whatever, I can always bring someone in late afternoon usually, unless, I've got something crazy yesterday, that like a full afternoon of traffic.
He did mention, he had a different schedule, but it was either go and do the like 2 week training now, or we have to wait till the spring, so it just he wants to get to work and so it just makes more sense.
Okay, well, we'll take care of him some other time whenever we can accommodate, no problem. All right, so we'll leave everything else as scheduled. And I'll have Jen get a hold of Mr. Day and Mr. Carantes to see if they could come in at 2 versus 2:30. Then we'll get those pleas and absentia addressed, and then we'll start with everybody else that's in person that's remaining at 2:30 and at 3. And I think that actually is going to work out really well.
And I did tell my clients at 3 o'clock was their scheduled time, not to like make you show later than that, so.
Okay.
They're made and prepare the order out, so hopefully we'll be a well-oiled machine.
That was my hope, but we'll see. This is all trial and error right now.
We're really good there.
We are off to a really good start today. That worked very, very well. People, good teamwork. Yes, you may. Thank you.
We do have any more before you leave?
Yeah,
See you later.
You got to watch out for Joe.
Only on this level.
Yeah, call him on the number, the phone that's not connected to anything.
That's a Ghostbuster.
All right, we are signing off.